Well, I'm going to tell a story, and you have to have an open mind for it. A real open mind. It's a true story. But up in the mountains, there's a place called Sunspot, and they monitor the sun. And visitors can go up there, and there's kind of like a little town around it. You know, the workers live up there because it's far to come and go. And one day, the FBI come in there with their Black Hawk helicopters, shut the place down, ran everybody off, and everybody was wondering what's going on. The police in this county, they were itching their head like, because they weren't told nothing, and they were pretty well kept out of it. It had to do something with the sun. Well, everybody thought, but the FBI, they come up with different ideas, and one of them was so silly. It was like, I think it was a janitor post had porn on his computer. So if that was true, why did you send in the FBI with Black Hawk helicopters with scientists jumping out, going in there, taking up over Sunspot? So they kept coming up with different stories. The story that Bill and I believe for sure is true, and you do gotta have an open mind for it. And let me say, at that time, about a week or so ahead of that invasion on that, and it wasn't an invasion on that Sunspot, the government sent a rocket to the sun. It's supposed to be the only kind the rocket was. Its own, that type was the only one that could withstand the heat of the sun. And then they come up with a story on that. So it's all, you can look it up. Sunspot, New Mexico. Look up what was going on. Well, the local story, and why me and Bill believe it for sure, because we seen it with our own eyes. Okay, y'all got open mind? Because you're going to need one. There was a planet, and me and Bill seen it. It looked like a planet. It was right between the sun and the earth. And I'll show you in a minute. Bill and me, we was walking right through here. And here we was walking. And then we looked toward the west one evening. You know, the sun's bright. It's hard to look that way. But what we seen the planet between the earth and sun. It was white looking, big, you know, real big. And there it was. You could just see it. And in the horizon, there was planes, then the chemtrail going that way, and then one coming that way. And what they were doing, they was making chemtrails through there, trying to blur out that planet. It was, you know, we just stood there like, God, there's a planet there. What people were saying, that planet was stopping the sun rays that could damage the earth, because you only see it once in a while. And me walking the driveway in the evenings, you don't look at the sun, but sometimes I could see, it's kind of like a rainbow. You know, you see the main rainbow and then you see something else. Well, that looked like the rainbow. But twice I seen that planet, but just the curve of it like a half moon. And I was just thinking, oh, it's a reflection. And then one was even thinner than that, because the sun's bright and I couldn't look into the sun. So I just ignored it. But that day, when we seen that whole planet, and then them airplanes trying to cover up the evening sky, I guess, because they were really working at it, trying to fog it up. But so that's the rumor going around, that planet is stopping the flares coming to Earth. So I looked it up on the internet, and I did find a couple stuff on it. And I think they were saying the same thing. But if it wasn't for our own eyes, me and Bill, because we've seen the whole planet, you know, the whole circle. And so I believe that story. And I believe either that rocket was going up to the sun trying to bomb that thing, or I don't know what that rocket was about. They got their own stories about it. But we know, you know, I believe this story because we've seen that planet. And that's the rumor going around here is they were shutting down Sunspot. And not only that one, but others around the world. They were shutting all their, the ones that study the sun, they were shutting them all down. And so they was covering that up. The FBI didn't want nobody to know, and they was coming up all kind of stories to explain to people why they were shutting down these places. But anyway, you do have to have an open mind about it, because that planet was right there in full view. Even though, you know, we was looking at the sun, it wasn't that bad because that planet was really helping, you know, where you could see it good. I told Bill, I said, if I ever see that again, I'm going to take a picture of it. I had, you know, it was just a shocker, and I didn't even think about grabbing my camera. But if I ever see it again, I will. Or if I see the reflections of it, I'll try to take a picture of it. But anyway, that's my UFO story, and I got plenty of them for out here. But that's my biggest one. It was amazing. But it was pure white looking. And it's like there and then it's gone. So I know some of you won't believe it, but it was there. And thanks for watching and listen to my UFO story. Bye. From out west Homestead. I'm gonna kind of show you where that sunspot is, if this camera will take it. It might not, but you can probably see a little tip on the mountains, maybe. It's hard to tell. But it's right up in there where you see a hump. That's where Sunspot is. And the FBI went in there and took it over. In New Mexico, the weather is so clear out here. You see stuff at night. And Bill and I, we've seen, you know, quite a bit, but it's amazing the stuff you see out here. I never did want to speak of it because most people don't believe you, what you see. And even, I got another ghost story I remembered. New Mexico is a land of enchantment, and it's true. It does enchant you. So I'll tell another ghost story pretty soon, but I might tell some UFO stories later. But this planet that we seen, that's my biggest story of all time. Well, the biggest thing we ever seen. So thank you for watching.